Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show you how I used the GitHub action to update the deployment state in Jira. If you go to the deployment section in your Jira, you'll see these keys, and my final goal was to update the status of deployments in each Jira ticket based on my GitHub action. For example, this one, as you can see, it is successful. So I wanted to add failed and cancelled and in progress. So I use this GitHub action called jira-upload-deployment-info. It is for HighwayThree. And if you look at the official documentation under marketplace actions, you can see that they are explaining all the properties, how to assign them, and so on and so forth. So my focus mainly is on state because it was a little confusing. So it says gives a state for the deployment, for example, CI. So I actually went and looked at the code of this GitHub action, and it seems they are calling this endpoint from Jira, and the request body, it's being created here, and it has deployments. So I went and find the official documentation for this endpoint in the Jira, and I found this deployments field. The type is array of deployment data, and if you click on deployment data, you will see the structure of the properties. So again, my focus is on state. The valid values for this is, as you can see, unknown, pending, in progress, cancel, failed, rollback, and successful, which is kind of exact deployment key that we saw in the first slide in the Jira. So this is the GitHub action I set up for myself. So what I'm doing is I'm setting deployment state to in progress before I start the deployment step, and after deployment step I check the status of the workflow. If it is successful, I assign an environment variable called deploy state to successful. If it is failed, fail, and canceled. And then at the end, for the final step, I'm assigning final deployment state. I'm updating the deployment state in Jira. So this is set deployment state in Jira in progress, which is before deployment. And the only thing I wanted to mention is these issue keys, which again in the official documentation it shows you what step to use and how to assign it, so you can follow that. But for the state, I just hard coded in progress. And then as an example of that, those three steps, which is failed, successful, and cancelled, I included this one so you can see in more detail. For example, for failed deploy state, I'm checking if it is failure. Then I'm assigning deploy state to failed as an environment variable, and then I'm using that environment variable here for the state to update the final deployment state in Jira, and that is how I am getting this status update in my Jira ticket. That's it. Thank you for watching.